Hello, today I will be talking about financial fraud in India. Fraud is defined under Section 17 of the Indian Contract Act, in which it is stated that there is an involvement of act either committed by opposite party or through his agent, in which another party or his agent is deceived, through which an agreement is entered. We could also say that fraud is any intentional false representation or abuse of information which leads to profit, or it causes loss, or it exposes others in risk of loss. So some examples of financial fraud are bribery, forgery, practice of corruption, embezzlement, or concealment of facts. Now, RBI has characterized this type of frauds into specific categories and keeping IPC into consideration, which are cheating, negligence, irregularities in extension of credit card facilities against illegal gratification, forging of documents, and misrepresentation, criminal breach of trust. So now there are certain elements of fraud which help us to form the definition of it, which is misrepresentation of a material fact, and it is done with the knowledge that it is false, the intention of inducing the victim to rely upon the misrepresentation, and because of it the victim suffers some damages. So now let's look at the types of fraud. So first is occupational fraud. It is also called as corporate fraud. A very popular example of this is the Satyam scam, in which the founder of the company, that was Ramalingam Raju, he resigned from the company's board after him admitting to corporate fraud. It was an accounting scam, as the founder of the company made false copies of the company and he inflated the bank balances. In this fraud, the person uses his occupation and misapplies the organization resources or assets. Now let's look at another example, which is credit card fraud. So here credit cards are basically plastic cards which are in possession of the card holder, and such type of fraud is any transaction which is done which was not authorized by the card holder. This credit card fraud is a lot of it is increasing now, as a lot of instances can be seen regarding such type of fraud. People try to get information like the card number or the CVV through false telephone calls or emails or SMSs. Another example is the healthcare fraud. So here an individual or an insurance provider or any other person misuses such information for their gain. They use this information for seeking medical care, and through which they get insurance, but in reality this is not true. It's just a form of fraud. Then we can look at Ponzi schemes. It is another example. So these are investment schemes which offer high investments for a fixed term of investments, but there is minimal amount of risk. So an example of this is Shraddha scam, which offered high payment, high return, and their goal was to keep getting investors so that the cash keeps on flowing. They usually pay the previous investors by the money of the new investors. They say that these are investment schemes, but in reality the investment is not really happening. They are just the transaction of money keeps on happening. Another example is the cyber fraud. Here technology is used by internet or computers to corrupt another individual's personal or financial information. Some examples of it are online gambling, physical damage of computer system, illegal sale of illegal items, forgery, counterfeiting. Another example is tax fraud. So here it is an illegal activity in which individuals avoid paying tax. It is also known as tax evasion, that is the failure to pay taxes, and it includes criminal charges. Regarding financial fraud, the main acts which governs is Indian Contract Act, IPC. Thank you.